Several Glabrezus were harmed in the making of this video. Demon summoning of any kind is dangerous and should only be attempted by trained professionals.
Allow me to introduce the next evil mastermind for your low-level party. This guy will provide you with an intriguing plot, ending in a climactic boss fight with a demonic mastermind. Not many monsters have the same story and combat potential as the Glabrezu. This is the smartest of low to mid-level demons. It prefers to make deals, but it's always going to have an end goal of sowing destruction and chaos. We're going to talk about how a Glabrezu might influence your story, and then I'll go over the awesome things it can do when it fights your party. So unless your party is going into the abyss or has something to do with the enormous blood war or some other demonic fight, it's more than likely that it was summoned to the material plane for some reason. As far as mechanics that allow a person to summon a Glabrezu, the only one I know of is the Gate spell, which is a 9th level spell, and most people are not going to have access to that. So when I put a Glabrezu in my world, I always bend the rules a little bit. Say, you can summon the demon, but you're not going to have any control over it whatsoever. Maybe someone at the mage school wanted to gain more power and summon a demon, but didn't have the proper training, lost control, and was killed. Now the Glabrezu roams free in this world. Or maybe a portal opened up for a brief moment in a region with a high magic density, and the Glabrezu came through and the portal closed behind it, preventing its return. Now, it's on a plane with plenty of people to make deals with, trick, and sow chaos. Once a Glabrezu is actually in your world, it's probably going to start to try to make deals with humanoids. It can offer several different things, including mercenary services, as it is wildly powerful. It can also offer to obtain some sort of magic item through its demonic connections. With the time that it has on the material plane, it might try to start a crime syndicate. It probably wouldn't just go wipe out a small village on its own. What it would more likely do is one by one trick those inhabitants into making a deal with it, because it revels in the despair and pain of humanoids. Maybe a Glabrezu made a deal with a party member in their session 0 before the campaign started, and now that player is going to have to deal with the consequences. As far as what it looks like, this doesn't just have to be the art that you find in the monster manual. Most demons look different depending on what layer of the abyss they come from. For example, a Glabrezu under Yinogu, the hyena demon prince, would look probably more like a dog or a hyena, with more hair and wolf-like features, while one under the demon lord Jublix, lord of the oozes, might just leak this weird substance of some sort constantly, giving it a rubbery sheen. They will most likely also try to hide their form with a cape or a cloak, so that it seems more appealing to humans it's trying to make a deal with. If you're walking through the sewers and you come up to a 4-armed demon with pincers that can crush you, you're probably just going to run the other way. You won't listen to it. So a Glabrezu will hide the scariest parts of itself while it's having a first interaction with someone. Probably the first couple interactions. As far as combat goes, Glabrezu are actually really cool to run. One of the most notable passive abilities it has is True Sight, meaning that it can see through the invisibility and blink spells. As far as tactics in combat, my favorite combination of attacks it can do is first using Power Word Stun, which is an 8th level spell. Then, once stunned, it will grapple a party member and cast Fly on itself. Or if it has Vrock summoned already, it will stun them and then tell a Vrock to grab and fly away with a party member. Since the Glabrezu has the access to this sort of combo, it is very likely that it will try to take people hostage. Maybe, if one of your players can't make a few sessions, have the Glabrezu stun him, grab him, and fly away with him. The rest of the party is going to have to spend the next couple sessions without that player trying to go save that character. If the combat's not going well for this guy, he always has access to the Darkness spell. He can use this to escape very easily, throwing it behind him as he runs away. Now, I can't really talk about the Glabrezu without talking about its drow component. A draegloth is a sort of combination between Glabrezu and drow. In my opinion, I don't think they're that great. Their stats are worse than Glabrezu, and also worse than most drow stats. I would use draegloths in some sort of flavorful way in the plot. instead of in actual combat often. Maybe there's a drow matron that needs some disposable soldiers quickly. She can have a lot of drow go through the dangerous process of becoming a draegloth. They become much more powerful than a commoner would be, and the process probably wouldn't take as long as training to become a more powerful drow, like an inquisitor or a favored consort. How have you used Glabrezus in your world? Or how do you plan to throw them at your party in the future? Just remember, as long as you're not summoning a Glabrezu, everything will be okay.